the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Philippine Navy reports fewer Chinese vessels in Ayungin Shoal. NAC processes amnesty for 3,500 Moro and communist rebels. Fuel prices up for third straight week. PBBM announces zero budget for flood control in 2026.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Tuesday, September 9, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Philippine Navy reported a decline in the number of Chinese ships spotted in Ayungin Shoal over the weekend, with only 9 vessels recorded compared to 24 observed last week. Navy spokesperson Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad said the reduction may be due to bad weather, but emphasized the regular monitoring continues across the West Philippine Sea. He assured that the resupply of troops aboard BRP Sierra Madre remains a priority, with contingency plans in place against possible Chinese aggression. The World War II-era ship, grounded in the shoal since 1999, serves as a vital outpost symbolizing Philippine sovereignty.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The National Amnesty Commission is processing the pardon and release of 3,500 Moro and communist rebels. Commissioner Jomar Colayan said over 5,000 applications are expected before the program ends in March 2026, with Eastern Visayas recording the highest at more than 700. 9 applications, including one from a top Moro rebel, are now ready for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s final approval. Colayan added that the program may be extended at the President's discretion.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM, here's some information from Joanne about NOLCOM Commander bids farewell to 5th ID Lodge Star Troopers' efforts.
Lieutenant General Fernil G. Buca, commander of the Northern Luzon Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, paid a heartfelt farewell visit to the 5th Infantry Star Division of the Philippine Army as part of his tour of units under his command. During his visit, Lieutenant General Buca commended the Star Division's unwavering commitment to NOLCOM's mission and praised their pivotal role in dismantling major guerrilla fronts in Northern Luzon, paving the way for territorial defense operations. The NOLCOM chief emphasized the importance of remaining truthful, disciplined, and dedicated in serving the nation and the Filipino people. His visit was met with gratitude as the Star Division honored his exceptional leadership and guidance as they continue to carry on their mandate with excellence and professionalism. This is John Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Marine Corps rescued 3 fishermen who were stranded for 2 days after strong waves swept their boat away in the West Philippine Sea. Marine Battalion Landing Team 9 identified the rescued men as Romeo Carta, Rohin Santillan, and Axel Gonzaga, all residents of a local fishing community. The Marines provided food, water, and medical assistance to ensure their recovery. The Philippine Navy also coordinated swiftly, relaying the good news to the fishermen's families who expressed relief over their safe return.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Soldiers of the 8th Infantry Division engaged remnants of the Communist terrorist group in Barangay Magtino, Llorente, Eastern Samar yesterday. The clash erupted after civilians, tired of extortion and harassment, tipped off troops about the group's activities. Soldiers called in precise fire support to neutralize a fortified position laced with anti-personnel mines banned under international humanitarian law, successfully destroying it. 8ID Commander Major General Adonis Ariel Arroyo lauded the courage of residents and emphasized that civilian cooperation is vital to defeating insurgent threats.
Armed Forces Radio.
And some information from Mike about 53rd IB launches a welfare program for CAFGU in Zamboanga del Sur. Go, Mike.
53rd Infantry Battalion launched the Better Life program for CAA in Bayoga, Zamboanga del Sur to improve the welfare of civilian armed forces geographical unit members and their families. The program provides rice, food packs, hygiene kits, medical consultation, medicine, and other social services to 100 CAFGU's members. 53rd Infantry Battalion Commander Lieutenant Colonel Rolando Vargas Jr. said the initiative recognized the sacrifices of CAFGU in maintaining peace and security. Meanwhile, 1st Infantry Division appointed Lieutenant Colonel Bernardo Kiamjut Jr. as the new chief of its CAFGU Affairs Office. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army confirmed that the ongoing decommissioning of Moro Islamic Liberation Front members has not disrupted government programs. Army spokesperson Colonel Louis de Maala said the process of surrendering weapons continues, with protocols and contingency measures ensuring coordination on the ground. He stressed that peace and order in vulnerable communities remain the top priority, while urging the CPP-NPA members to abandon armed struggle. Colonel De Maala emphasized that the unity and collaboration are key to achieving lasting peace and inclusive progress nationwide.
DWDD National News.
And now for our national news, fuel prices have gone up for the third straight week. The per liter price of gasoline rose by 1 peso today. Meanwhile, the price of diesel increased by 1 peso and 40 centavos and kerosene by 70 centavos. Local oil industry sources attributed the increase to the damage to Russian oil processing facilities from Ukrainian attacks.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Leonor about OPAPRO launches Caraga Federation of Former Rebels to boost peace efforts.
The Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity spearheaded the launch of the United Caraganon for Peace and Development Federation Incorporated, a regional organization of more than 3,000 former rebels, on Monday in Caraga. The event held under the Committee Assembly for Peace and Development Program gathered 286 ex-NPA combatants, local leaders, security forces, and government agencies. OPAPRO Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. and Caraga governors attended the ceremony and highlighted the government's whole-of-nation approach to reintegration and peace building. Former rebels expressed gratitude for programs like ECLIP, which have supported the transition to peaceful and productive lives. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for FP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
The proposed 2026 national budget will no longer carry new allocations for flood control projects. In a podcast interview, Marcos noted that the 350 billion in the 2025 appropriations remain unspent. He said the Department of Budget and Management and the Department of Public Works and Highways would submit to Congress the revised budget proposal for 2026. PBBM also added that flood control projects would continue but would be closely monitored to ensure proper completion and quality.
DWDD National News.
The National Bureau of Investigation has launched its own probe of 15 contractors that secured anomaly-tainted infrastructure projects from the Department of Public Works and Highways. NBI Director Jaime Santiago said the inquiry is part of the Bureau's motu proprio investigation into irregularities in government contracts. Santiago added that NBI will trace the project's money and paper trails. They will also focus initially on DPWH retail directors in areas in Bulacan inspected by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The NBI also served as subpoena on Pacifico and Sara Diskaya at the Pasig office of St. Gerard Construction in connection with a separate investigation into a questionable flood control project.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Jim Boy about 12 CMO Battalion joins mangrove planting coastal cleanup in Vigan City.
Soldier from the 1st Civil Military Operation Company, 12 CMO Battalion joined a mangrove planting and clean-up drive in Barangay Mindoro, Vigan City, Ilocos Sur. The initiative led by the Vigan City government brought together local agencies, youth council, and barangay officials. It aimed to help protect the coastline from the soil erosion and natural disaster. The activity highlighted the strong partnership between the military, local government, and youth in promoting environmental protection and community resilience. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla said that Sara and Curly Diskaya may be admitted as state witnesses but only if they meet the conditions set under the law. This includes returning funds they allegedly gained from anomalous flood control projects. Under Republic Act 6981, individuals may enter the Witness Protection Program provided they are not the guiltiest party in a case. Remulla stressed that they can't walk off laughing at the system because they enriched themselves and got away with the crime. The Justice Secretary said he has yet to speak with the couple, who have offered to testify on alleged collision between lawmakers, DPWH officials, and contractors in substandard infrastructure projects.
DWDD National News.
The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee cited former Bulacan 1st District Assistant Engineer Bryce Erickson Hernandez in contempt after he repeatedly denied allegations that he frequented casinos. Senator Erwin Tulfo moved to cite Hernandez in contempt, which Senate President pro tempore Jinggoy Estrada seconded. Hernandez allegedly used fake identification in order to enter casinos. He reportedly used an ID issued by the Land Transportation Office bearing the name Marvin Santos de Guzman. Hernandez denied owning the ID.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Richmond about Naval Forces Central leads coastal cleanup in Visayas.
Naval Forces Central male personnel spearheaded a coastal cleanup under the Men Oppose Violation Everywhere advocacy at the Naval Base Rafael Ramos in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu premises. Led by God Officer Commander Rosendo Mondihar, Philippine Navy, the activity aimed to promote environmental responsibility and discourage all forms of violations. A significant amount of marine waste was collected that highlights the urgent need for sustained efforts to protect marine biodiversity. NFC reaffirmed its commitment in safeguarding the Visayas coastal ecosystem and supporting local communities' well-being. This is Mon, reporting for AP Community News, 1 AP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Richmond.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the National Capital Region Police Office assigned a total of 2,550 cops to secure the conduct of possible Black Friday protests in light of the issues in flood control projects. NCRPO Public Information Office Chief Police Major Hazel Asilio said 1,250 have already been deployed in the possible venues of the rallies. These areas include Mendiola Piso Arc near Malacanang and the Department of Public Works and Highways Central Office in Manila. Another 1,250 cops are on standby in concerned police districts. The NCRPO official also said the police are expecting protest sections in the area of Manila and EDSA so far.
DWDD National News.
Senator Panfilo Lacson has replaced Senator Rodante Marcoleta as chairperson of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. This follows a major shakeup in the Senate leadership with the ouster of Senator Chis Escudero as president of the chamber. Newly installed Senate President Tito Soto III last Monday evening confirmed that Lacson will now lead the Blue Ribbon panel, touted as the most powerful committee in the Senate. The committee is tasked to investigate irregularities in government. Lacson also installed as Senate President pro tempore, replacing Senator Jinggoy Estrada.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from CAF. CA confirms promotions of 20 AFP generals and senior officers.
Yes, Rofh, good noon. The Commission on Appointments confirmed the promotions of 20 generals, flag officers, and senior officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Senate President Francis Escudero approved the motion following endorsement from the CA Committee on National Defense. The confirmed officers included Lieutenant General Cirilo Balauro, Major Generals Oliver Makiling, Aldwin Almase, Vicente Mark Anthony Blanco III, Gerald Gagan, Ronald Jess Alcudia, and Efren Morados, along with several brigadier generals and senior officers from the Army, Navy, and Air Force. The confirmation highlighted the government's recognition of their leadership and contributions to the national security. This is Kat reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Kath.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. met with Prime Minister Hun Manet and reiterated the Philippines' commitment to deepen collaboration in trade, agriculture, renewable energy, and digital economy. Marcos made the remarks during their joint leaders' statement held at Phnom Penh's Peace Palace last Monday. In his speech, he recognized that the growth and resilience of both economies depend on opening new avenues of cooperation, expanding opportunities in trade, agriculture, renewable energy, and the digital economy. Likewise, the chief executive noted that he and Manet shared concerns over pressing transnational issues such as human trafficking, cybercrime, illicit drug trade, and other security threats.
DWDD National News.
Three major dams in Luzon, the Ambuklao, Minga, and Magat have opened their gates to release water to avert possible overflow due to the effects of the southwest monsoon or habagat. Pag-asa said one gate of Ambuklao Dam was unlocked to release water measured at 0.30 meters. The Minga Dam also had one floodgate opened. Meanwhile, two gates of Magat Dam in Isabela Province have been opened by 2 meters as it releases water with an outflow of 911.78 centimeters.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology has recorded weak ash emission over Canlaon volcano in Negros Islands. FIVOX Chief Teresito Bacolco said it is an ongoing activity that is producing a low plume that is drifting west-southwest. He warned the public, especially those living near the volcano, to stay away from the 4-kilometer radius permanent danger zone as sudden steam-driven or phreatic eruptions are possible. The Negros Islands volcano is under alert level 2, which means it is under moderate level of volcanic unrest.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.